Any chance you had of
used
getting
to
in the
watch
sack
your
with me
show.
has now gone down the tubes by calling me Mikey. It's too
Mikey.
freaky. My mother used to call me that all the time.
I used to watch your show, actually.
Oh, thanks,
Back
Ray Ray.
in the day.
I can't call you Ray Ray. What can I call you? I mean, I said Ray Ray.
Can you call me Ray?
Well, how did you come up with Ray Ray?
Oh, it's a kind of a long story.
Well, you know what?
I had an ex-boyfriend call me that. It was my nickname, and I just...
What's your birth name, Renee?
Renee, yeah.
And you've shortened it too.
Well, I'm keeping things separate.
You shortened it not at all.
No,
Ray Ray.
it's longer.
Ray Ray's longer, yeah. Yeah, you added 2
Rey
more
Rey
letters.
Marie.
So you're a, what should I call you? A 50-year-old internet sensation.
I don't know if I'd say sensation, but thank you.
Well, you've done your whole thing on the internet.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying.
mean, you're basically, anytime I've seen you, you're modeling bikinis. And you're a friend of my producer, so he said we had to have you on.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'm not faulting him for it.
Ben.
But you're always posing on a beach. You're always, which is fortunate that you're in Halifax, I guess.
Yeah. All
And
kinds of
you're
good
always
beaches.
you're always promoted as a 50-year-old in a bikini.
Right.
Ordinarily, I would never bring up someone's age, but it seems to be your calling card.
Well, I'm fit and 50.
Yeah, that's it
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Now, I asked you when you got here. I mean, I'll ask you again. I don't care. Have you had breast enhancement?
Yes, short answer.
What, just one? You had one done?
I
Is
just
a
had
short
one.
answer, you had one done?
I just
You're waiting to
I
see how
just
it turns
needed
out?
one, Mike. Only one side was it was lopsided, so I needed one.
See, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I mean, were you, what's the term, flat-chested? Were you
No, I was
tiny?
I used to have really nice ones in high school. I was well known for them, actually.
We all had nice everything.
Yeah, really. And then, 2 kids later, I'm like, and then a divorce happened, and I'm like, I'm going to give myself a divorce present. It was either a car or the breast job, and I chose the latter.
Yeah, a car comes with airbags.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. I don't get it because here's the thing I know. I've only been with 2 women who had them, and I would rather they hadn't because they had nipple sensitivity issues after.
Oh,
They had no sensitivity in their nipples.
really?
None whatsoever.
That hasn't happened to me.
It was like undressing a Barbie doll. Basically, they felt nothing.
Well,
You had to tell them your hands were on their breasts,
that
or
sucked
they
for
had
you,
no
didn't
idea,
it?
or they had no idea.
And it sucks for them.
Well, it really sucks for you because then you
No.
start to feel like you're not really doing your job
Right.
when it comes to foreplay.
I could see that from a male perspective.
So what's the deal on that? Do you have nipple sensitivity?
I
can't
do.
even say nipple.
And they're also
Nipple. I'm so afraid to say nipple.
nipples.
Nipple sensitivity.
Nipple?
Yeah,
Yes.
so do you
My
have
nipples
sensitivity?
are still sensitive, and more so since I've had them pierced.
Oh my God, you did that too?
Yeah.
You don't have any facial piercings or...
No, because I want to keep things hidden. My tattoos are also very hidden.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. Based on what I've seen, nobody here will hear about it. So you had piercings on your breasts.
Yeah.
Now, you're also in the reserve, right? The military?
Yes, I am.
Does any of this stuff create an issue for them?
Not as far as That's why I keep my name separate.
Right. But they must know. People you work with must have seen you on Instagram.
They know. Yeah, they know.
And it's not an issue for them.
No.
You know, because I
Women
remember...
empowerment.
Well, I remember when they did a police officer in Michigan for Playboy.
How long ago, though?
Oh, it wasn't that long ago. It was about 20 years ago. And she was a policewoman.
That's a long time ago.
Not if you're 50, it's not.
A lot of things have changed in 20 years, Mike.
20 years ago, she did a little thing for Playboy where she wasn't even undressed. She was in a bikini. And they tossed her from the police force. And 20 years ago, yeah, you can say that, except when it comes to the police force and the military, because they're not exactly up on the times.
No.
I mean, you must deal with a lot of
But
horseshit.
to be fair, 4 years ago now, there was an investigation done by the Judge Advocate General, and they determined that there was still a lot of harassment going on
In the military.
in the military.
Yeah, because they're, are they still alpha male environments?
100%. It's 95% male.
Yeah.
if not more. I don't know what the statistics are exactly. But
So, yeah, the Judge Advocate General certainly did an investigation into it, but what's changed in the last 4 years? That's what I want
well,
to know.
we have this program called Operation Honor,
Yeah.
and we're taught it every year. We're given instructions on it.
On sensitivity.
On sensitivity to, so nothing's talked about at work in a work environment.
Right.
And if I have, a social media that's, separate from that in a lot of ways, like I don't use my real name and stuff, then I don't see an issue. It's not like I'm doing porn.
You might not use your real name, Ray, but they know you're doing it.
Oh yeah, but who I work for is very supportive.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Now you're in the reserve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Full-time.
But you're full time.
Yes.
So what's the difference between being full time in the reserve and full time in the military?
In the Reg Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on contracts and you get, they're called Class B contracts.
Right.
And they're full time, 3 years at a time.
So it's basically you can do a private sector job in the reserve for the armed forces, right?
Private sector?
Well, basically they use the reserve to get people to do private sector type jobs. Like, did you have to go through basic training?
Yeah,
and
I
stuff?
did all of that. You
went through all that?
I did basic training at 42 with 20-year-old boys.
And you obviously...
And I was the only female.
Was this before the breast implants?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
You have to keep talking about that, eh?
Well, it's extra weight, right?
Mike.
It's like a backpack.
No.
Only it's on the front.
They're not that heavy. Have you carried a rucksack? They're about 70 pounds.
How could you even ask me that question?
Well,
Do I strike you as that type?
No,
I haven't.
not at all.
No. But what is basic training like? How many weeks is it?
I call it the weekend warrior because I did it on weekends.
Right.
Because most people have full-time jobs during the week,
Right.
which I did have a job. And then we did it on weekends. So it was like I was never home.
So it was 48 hours.
It was
every week.
Friday night till Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now tell me what
It
it
took 4
entails.
months. Oh, we did everything. We practiced drill. There was classroom. There was
Every time you see a movie, they're always running.
weapons.
Is there a lot of running?
Well, we were in a big, because it was wintertime.
Yeah.
So we were in the armories a lot
Yeah.
in Halifax. And there was not a lot of running, but we did marching out in the
Are you
commons.
telling me that even in the military now, they don't want to take you outside when it's cold?
Well, you can't run anyway in your combat boots anymore. They've deemed those unsafe. Although people still do it.
Are you for real?
That's what they've said.
Seriously?
Yeah, because too many people are getting injured.
Well, why don't they get Nike or somebody to design a combat boot?
I have no idea, Mike.
Yeah, but the one place where you think that people still train the same way they used to train without too much concern for their personal comfort is the military.
I can't comment on that. I don't know how they pick up their supplies.
All right, so what about the shooting part? Does
Yeah.
it still go on?
I had to take apart and put together a weapon and
Do you have
learn.
to do it blindfolded? In the movies, they always do it blindfolded.
No.
You don't have to do that?
But shooting at night is like shooting blindfolded because
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
can't
bet.
see anything.
How good a shot are you?
I've never failed a weapons test.
Really?
Arranged. Yeah. I've never
Now,
failed.
what was the most difficult thing in basic training for you?
The marching to keep up to these young boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most. And I actually got bruises all over my feet, lost all my toenails. They don't know that, but that happened. I could hardly walk by the end of it.
Did they not have special boots for you?
No, you wear that's why the combat suck because they're harmful to your feet.
All right, so this was the drilling part.
This was marching, so you go on like we did marching in formation.
Yeah.
Yeah, in ranks.
Here's my big concern. It's always my big concern no matter what I'm doing. What's the food like when you're doing that?
Well,
They got to keep you fed.
yeah. So in basic, we ate in the armories, and there's something called hay boxes, and they're these big trunks that filled with, on the bottom they have hot water, on the top are stainless steel trays full of food.
So it's like a hot table.
Yeah, the food is limited. So you get, in the morning we got eggs, boiled eggs, beans. They had bacon and sausage. I'm a vegetarian. And home fries. And then toast and whatever.
Yeah. What about lunch and supper?
Lunch was, I'm trying to think what lunch
I'm
was.
looking for the word spam here.
Lunch was like basic stuff, I think. Like
I
just,
know, but what about spam? Spam is how it was created for K-rations.
I wouldn't know.
Have they decided that spam's too
as I
difficult
said,
to digest now?
I'm a vegetarian, and I would never even look at spam.
You can't say that when you're in basic training.
It's disgusting.
There's no way you were allowed to say that.
There's no spam that I remember.
But you had to eat something.
Yeah, we
There's
ate.
There's no way they set up a salad bar for you.
No. Sometimes we ate rations, but they were gross.
What are rations? I want to know what's in them.
Really? Rations are, you get like a bag, and they're actually very expensive. Someone told me they were like $40, and you get your like main course, which as a vegetarian, there's not a lot of options. So ate a lot of cheese tortellini, and they're, MSG'd up the yin yang. And to heat them up, they're in like a foil bag, and you heat them up, you put them in hot water. And
so they're vacuum sealed things.
Yeah. And then...
do they taste good?
Fuck no.
No?
No. I was
there
on them once
dessert?
for 10 days.
That's another big thing with me. Is there dessert?
There's dessert. The dessert is actually not that bad. It's like stewed cherries or stewed...
So it's like a Swanson dinner.
Yeah.
You gotta
Except Swanson actually
It's like a Swanson dinner in a boiling bag.
Swanson's better.
Yeah, when I first moved out of my parents' house, I was so excited. I ate nothing but Swanson TV dinners for a month.
Really?
Yeah, and Cocoa Puffs with chocolate milk, because my old man wouldn't buy anything but cornflakes or puff wheat or puff rice.
How old were you when you moved out?
20.
Oh, and that's all you ate?
Well, for a month.
Yeah.
Then I got tired of eating that crap, and I started eating healthier. Actually, I started dropping by my parents' house after a month.
What was your favorite Swanson meal?
It was the man-sized Salisbury steak. It's not going to trip me up. The Swanson man-sized Salisbury steak was amazing. It had mushroom
Isn't that for
gravy.
old people? Salisbury steaks?
No, it wasn't then. Maybe it is now.
I heard they're for old people that can't chew
I haven't had a Salisbury
steak.
steak since I was 20. So, back then there were very few choices.
Right.
You had Swanson TV dinners, and that was it. That's what they say causes Alzheimer's, by the way.
What?
Our parents' generation got it from eating TV dinners in the 50s. They say the aluminum in the trays leached onto their food, and they always find aluminum in their brains when they do an autopsy after.
So that's what they've narrowed it down to.
Yeah.
TV dinners.
They think it's aluminum. Yeah.
But I can remember having aluminum pots when I was growing up.
Well, if you can remember, then you're all right.
I guess that's a good point.
I mean, we were all eating stuff we shouldn't have been eating.
Exactly. I think maybe ours even had lead.
Yeah, but as adults, we eat healthier, way healthier than our parents ate.
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure. I know I do.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. Boiling bag, all that jazz.
Really?
Instant food. I'd be great
You know
in the
what's
Army.
great about the rations? Sometimes there's little gums, chiclet. You get 2 little chiclets, and you get a little chocolate bar, and you get like packages of flavored drink, and you put it in your
Wow.
yeah, in your water, and
I'm picturing people in the heat of battle going, wow, this is great.
a little salt and pepper.
I didn't expect this. Yeah.
That's what they eat.
Did you jump out of a plane? Did you parachute?
No, I'm not in the Air Force.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but our armed forces are just called armed forces.
No, there's still Air Force, Army,
They're
and
separate
Navy.
branches, but they don't really call them that. I don't know what branch you were in. Were you in the Army?
I'm in the Army.
Okay. So you do the basic training,
Yeah.
and then you get a job. What kind of job they give you?
I'm a clerk by trade.
You could have done that without losing your toenails. You could have been a clerk anywhere
I
without
know, but
losing your toenails.
If I go to school to be an administrative
Why didn't they teach you how to type? Why were they having you march? If you're a clerk,
Because
they
you're a
taught you how to
soldier
use
first,
a computer.
Mike. You're a soldier first, man. I had to take soldier qualification after basic. There's not just basic. There's soldier
And you got to take soldier qualification?
Yes. I
Right.
had to launch grenades and shoot big C6 weapons.
Right.
They're
and
huge.
now you work beside a file cabinet all day.
Yeah. No, in a computer.
Right.
But
So-
you're a soldier first.
Now, how often do you have to go back for refreshers?
Every year you have to do your force test and your weapons training, yeah.
But you don't have to do a physical.
Yes.
But do you have to go back to drilling and all that jazz and show
No.
them you can still do it?
No. It's muscle memory. I'm not the
Yeah.
best drill person, but you usually remember the basic steps.
Now, I take it you're not wearing a uniform right now.
No, I need permission to wear it.
By the way, I love the way you came in and said, I didn't know this was on video, or I would have worn something else.
Hey.
You know what? You're kind of making me wish, looking at you, that we had no video. Because I'm kind of curious as to what you might have worn.
I would have worn the same thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, this whole thing with the bikini posing and all that jazz, how'd you get into that? Because I find that pretty interesting that all of a sudden at a certain age you decided that you wanted to bare your body for people to see.
Really?
And by the way, I'm willing to bet that most of your responses come from 22, 23-year-olds.
There are a few of those, yes.
Come on, a few.
There's a few. But there's a lot of men my
but those
age.
photos are like MILF heaven. Like my mother's friends did not look like you. I got to tell you the truth. None of my mother's friends look like you. Not one.
Can I take that as
They
a
were
compliment,
reasonable.
Mike?
There were reasonable substitutes for Playboy magazine, but they did not look like you.
I'm taking that as a huge compliment. So,
I'll take it as a huge compliment. My mother's friends did not look like you. They all looked like my mother, which was an issue with me. You know.
I'm sure I don't know.
Like, did you have that deal? You have 2 kids, right?
I have 2 daughters, yes.
2 daughters. So did you have that deal where their boyfriends hung around even when they weren't there?
No, they
didn't have that
their
deal?
boyfriends were actually very respectful, and
So their boyfriends didn't bring male friends of theirs over who decided to hang around and see if you needed anything done?
I didn't get that. I didn't.
Like
no.
the grass cut or,
No,
you know what I mean?
Geez, I wish.
The pool cleaned, something
No,
like that.
nothing.
You know, the whole porn
Kids are
movie
lazy.
premise, the whole porn movie MILF premise, where you come
I
over.
didn't.
Can
Get
you
any
help
of
me
that.
get some things down from the attic? Let me
Didn't.
climb the ladder first.
They did used to tease my daughter quite a bit. One of my daughters quite a bit.
Now, speaking of your daughters,
Yes.
because they're in their 20s, right?
Yes.
So do they have the same respect for their figures that you have for yours?
Yes.
They're just like you.
Well, they're not like me. I'm more extra.
Yeah. Well, I know what the extra is. We already discussed that earlier.
Yeah.
But did they?
They're pretty chill, actually.
Are they fit and all that jazz?
They're both slender, but they
Because I'll
don't.
tell you, I go to the gym. I don't know about you, but I don't see people under 40 at the gym.
Really?
No, and I used to think it was because they were all getting free phys ed, but there's no way you're still in school at 39.
No.
But I never
shouldn't
see people under 40 years old at the gym.
Huh.
It's the weirdest thing. It's like it's a
What
boomer.
gym do you go to? Because I was at the gym today with a friend of mine. We went to the Y on Cherry Street.
Maybe the Y is different.
There was a lot of old people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, there's even a lounge in the change room. They were watching TV in the change room.
You know what it is? I think boomers and older people go to the gym as a fuck you to their kids.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I intend to live forever, and I intend to spend every dime I have. I don't enjoy 1 minute I spend in this facility lifting weights, but I'm going to do it forever so you don't get a cent.
Right.
I think that's what it is.
Maybe.
It's, any reason for fitness is a good reason.
That's right. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Now, to be, motivated to work out, I did have someone message me the other day, and he was like, you've inspired me to go to the gym, to go back to the gym and work out, and I'm not seeing as
Was it
much.
a guy or a girl?
It was a
guy or a woman?
I have more men. Really? I have some women, but Mike.
I'm sure there's some women.
There's some women.
Do women ever come on to you?
Oh, yeah.
I always like to ask beautiful women this. Do women ever come on to you?
Some, but you know what I get more? Gay men.
Coming on to you.
Yeah.
For...
They come on to me.
They want to have sex with you.
Well, the last one, yeah.
Well, he wasn't gay. He was bisexual.
No, he was totally gay.
You really
he was he
You
had
really-
the high voice. I'm
Do you
just
really
saying.
think that you're that big a temptress?
No,
That a guy
he
who
told
normally
me. I'm not lying.
who normally only sleeps with guys. You
He
actually
said, "I want to take you home." And
you've
I'm like,
actually well, he wanted to take you home.
yeah,
Probably for decorating tips. He didn't say he
Maybe.
wanted to take you home to hit the sack.
because I'm a good decorator too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's what it was.
Could be.
But there's no way that all of a sudden a gay guy could
It's not just
completely
him.
flip.
I've had many.
Really?
They come up to me and they say, "Holy shit, I'm gay, but you're fucking smoke show."
You know that, let me tell you how dishonest you are compared to me. I have never had a lesbian walk up to me and say, "Oh my God, I thought I picked my fork in the road a long time ago, but I have to have what you've got between those legs." I've never had that happen. Never in my life.
Do you look like this though?
If I looked like that, I would have no trouble getting lesbians. And on that note, by the way,
Yes.
I wouldn't be a woman for all the money in the world.
All the tea in China?
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how we do it either.
Like, you seem to revel in it,
You have to play the game.
which is, that's what I got to know. I want to hear about that. What is the game? By the way, what's the best way for a guy to hit on you? Speaking of games. What's the thing you most want to hear from a man when he meets you?
You mean in person?
Yeah.
Just that I don't know. I don't
not
like.
interested
I
in
don't
what a
like
guy
arrogant.
says to you.
I don't like arrogant people.
You don't like what?
Arrogant people. I don't like people that are cocky.
Yeah.
They have to be kind. Like they have to come on to me as kind. They can't be touching me. I don't like people touching me right away. Like I don't know you. Why are you touching me?
Okay.
It irritates the hell out of me actually.
Okay.
They always want to put their hand on the small of your back, like frig right off, or fro.
So the best way to approach you is, I'm not good enough for you. Here's a donation for the Humane Society, and I'll just stand way over here.
No, maybe I'm just, I don't know. I'm very picky too. Like, and I don't find there's any man in like where I'm from that's.
You can say Halifax.
Yeah, okay. I don't find that there's anyone that's kind of, and maybe, because of my history, my past, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the opposite sex.
But is there a problem in Halifax where guys are concerned?
A lot of women are talking about this, actually.
About problems in Halifax?
Yeah, but the men, they don't want to date. They just want to hook up. It's like I don't know. It's really weird.
But Ray, it's the same thing with girls.
Really?
Girls in their 20s.
Oh,
I have nephews.
I'm sorry.
I have nephews who told me that girls in their 20s just want to hook up and not hear from you the next day.
Really?
My other nephew, one of my nephews is older. One of my nephews is older now, but he went to a high school in Mississauga where the girls wore color-coded bracelets saying what they were into that day. Girl on girl.
Holy.
Meet me in the washroom for a quickie.
Wow.
Blowjobs. They had different colored bracelets for all of it.
What's going on with this world?
I don't know. But I always picture you making the wrong move with a girl who just got back from YMCA day camp. You know what I mean? Who made one of those
make
things
this clear.
with a million different colors in them.
I am not interested in women.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing. The young ones are all hooking up.
Well, I am not young.
So what you're saying is there's no such thing as a one-night stand for you.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's hard to find someone mature and
you're not gonna get a guy your own age walking up.
I never do. All the young ones.
No, they're not gonna come near you.
Yeah.
Because
I've had them come near. Like I've had men my age.
They're gonna be intimidated.
100%.
I can guarantee you the guys who walk up to you are really Hitler Youth looking types. Tall, blonde, blue-eyed,
and
muscular.
And back to your question about who approaches me, it's usually a very confident person that would approach me, first of all. So kudos to them if they can come up to me and have a meaningful conversation.
I find that most tall, handsome, blue-eyed, blonde, full head of hair men are premature ejaculators. That's been my experience.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
we agree on that.
Yeah. No, but you obviously date younger men.
I do.
Yeah. So what's your cutoff? Because you know what? This is something else that pisses me off. Your cutoff could be 19. And if my cutoff was 19, I'm a sick son of a bitch. But your cutoff could be 19, and people go, good for you.
I know. That bothers me. Actually, going back to a TV show, a very popular TV show I used to watch, and when one of the stars was dating an older man, it was fine. But when one of the guys was dating a younger girl, it was frowned upon, and I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Like they teased him.
So tell me the truth. What's your cutoff? How young would you go?
35 is my cutoff for dating. But
that's only 15. That's only 15 years.
Yeah. And people in their 20s, I don't, it's not.
So is it the same deal with a woman it is for a man? Because eventually you're going to run out of stuff to talk about with somebody who's way too young.
I look for people that have the same interests so we can keep a conversation going. Like artists, musicians, photographers.
Would you ever date somebody in the military?
No.
There's a little bit of hesitation there.
No. I just watching what I say about the military. No, I just have.
I wouldn't ask you to diss.
I've not had any good experiences.
Like, do you find it's just best not to date somebody at your workplace?
Right. Not just that.
See, I hear that a lot now. You shouldn't date somebody in your workplace. You shouldn't do this. Well, where else are you going to meet somebody? Because most people are working 11 hours a day now.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
And you're not going to meet somebody outside of your office or wherever. Like the CEO of McDonald's was just forced to quit his job because he was in a consensual relationship with someone who was junior to him at the office.
Wow.
Neither one of them was married. They were dating each other. I don't know, unless there's more to this story. It kind of struck me as odd.
That is weird.
And he had to resign this week.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if McDonald's is just an old-fashioned stick-up-the-ass outfit. I don't know, but...
I've known people to date within their organization. It's when they... the reason why I don't date the military is because when I joined the military, I see how the men behave.
But there have to be some gentlemen. You don't want to tar them all with the same brush.
No, but it...
Like I wouldn't date a special forces guy if I were you.
No.
If they're anything like Navy SEALs, they're probably a nightmare to date.
There's a lot... When you're attractive in the military, there's some arrogance.
Which is one of those things you hate.
Yeah.
And not a lot of kindness.
No.
From someone with...
And there's a rank structure, right? And I'm not a very high rank, so... A lot of them are higher rank, so that's frowned upon.
What would happen if you dated an officer? Who would get in trouble, you or him? Or her?
Probably him. Probably them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you ever...
Because they're supposed to know better.
In your time in the military, because you're there, you might not want to answer this question, but I can tell you my own story. You know who Colonel Russell Williams was?
No.
The serial killer. The guy who was in the guy out of Petawawa. So you didn't know.
Was he a colonel or lieutenant colonel?
Colonel.
Was he a colonel?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember the story. Because I had to do some math because I had a friend disappear from Eastern Passage in Nova Scotia back in 1999. And he was posted there in the 90s. Yeah, so I had to do the math because that was a huge case.
So did they pin that one on him?
No, he wasn't there. He was there prior to her disappearance. Yeah.
I met him once too. At Petawawa. I was doing a charity thing and he took me on a tour of a Hercules aircraft.
Ooh.
And CBC asked me about it after they arrested him, and somebody from the CBC came to see me and said, well, what was he like? I said, you know what? He was cold as a fish, but I just equated it with him being an officer in the military and having absolutely no use for civilians, so I didn't pick up on anything.
Right.
I just thought, wow, this guy's one cold fish. You know, and he was one promotion away from being a general.
So you've maybe felt his energy, his cold energy.
He had very, very, very cold guy.
Yeah, and
But I've met guys from Afghanistan, too, when I did stuff, and they had the same coldness about them because they'd been in combat, right?
Yeah. And I go by energy as well, like energy when I meet people.
Yeah.
Whether it be someone I'm dating or someone that I just meet at a bar.
Do women go for love at first sight?
I think I don't know if it's love at first sight, but it's definitely a really good energy that is exchanged. Yeah. Like I'm all about the connection. Like you can have
my brothers and I all believe in love at first sight. You know why? Because my mother, when we were growing up, used to say to us, you know, when I first met your father, and even when I married him, I didn't love him, but I knew the love would come. Which kind of makes your mother sound like some kind of scheming whore. And you hear that kind of thing and you go, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you know, he's our father, you're our mother.
But that's how things were done.
You were banging a guy you didn't love?
That's how things were done back then.
I guess.
That movie, Love Comes Softly?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't think women believed in love at first sight. I thought only guys believed in it.
Someone once said to me, I never believed in love at first sight until you walked by again. Oh. I know, it was cheesy.
Oh, and did he have a charity donation slip in his pocket at the
No,
time
I ended up dating him. It was the corniest thing ever, but it worked at the time. I was rebound from my marriage.
What about you? Like, you look like a very nice person. Someone said that to you.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good pickup line for you.
To me, that's not a pickup line. That's just a breaking the ice conversation.
Right.
And
have you ever had somebody hit on you when you're in uniform, like when you're out in the street or something?
All the time.
Yeah, what's the deal there? Because I think the automatic assumption when you see a woman in uniform is that she's a lesbian.
Yeah, I don't think I look like a lesbian.
Guys make. They make it with cops, I know that.
I shouldn't say that. I don't get hit on, but I get, approached. I sometimes work in the airport, at the Halifax International Airport, and there are people that approach me or smile, or they come up to me and shake my hand, thank you for your service. And
you know who you look like? Madeline Stowe, right there. Prepare to swoon all over
Madeline Stowe. She was in
Revenge.
Yeah.
With Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a great movie?
She was hot too. Thank you, Mike.
That's who you look like. You have the same coloring and the same shaped face.
Thank you.
What is your heritage, by the way? I don't know if that's an appropriate question.
My dad was half First Nation.
Your dad was half First Nation? That means you're a quarter First Nation. So are you getting any deals on anything?
No,
like
I'm
no
getting
sales
nothing.
tax or anything?
Nothing. Zip. Zero.
Have you applied?
I don't know. I don't know how to apply.
You're in the military. They'll show you how.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I was a quarter Indigenous, I'd apply.
Really?
Why wouldn't you?
There's nothing going on.
Wouldn't it be great to have a little card where you don't have to pay for the tax on gas?
I don't think Nova Scotia you're allowed to use that for that.
They are here.
Yeah, I know in Ontario it's really big.
In Ontario,
but
they can
not,
use it.
Not in, I don't think you can in.
Getting a rebate every year on your HST?
You do get a rebate, yeah.
Every year on your HST, and you wouldn't do that? What's your mother?
French.
French and Indigenous?
Yeah.
French and Indigenous?
Yes.
You shouldn't even be paying income tax.
My dad's.
You'd be paying nothing.
My dad's
you know what
father
would
was
happen?
from
The government
France.
would start throwing military contracts at you personally. Seriously.
Okay, let's apply after the show. Well, you can help me.
I just think it's crazy that you haven't done it. If your
I
father
know.
was half
We've talked about it
Indigenous.
for years.
What
my
band
family.
was he with?
My mother knows all this stuff. I'm not sure.
You better get to her while she's still alive.
I know. I know,
I'm
right?
serious. You better get to her while she's still alive.
Yeah,
you better
I
get
know.
to her and get this done.
Yeah.
Because, my father died, and I found out we could have had dual citizenship with the States.
Really?
My grandmother was American, and my father never mentioned it. And my brother moved to L.A., and he spent $50,000 on immigration. And then when he got his green card, my dad said, oh, by the way, he could have had it for
Your
nothing.
grandmother's American.
He could have had it for nothing.
Oh my gosh.
He spent $50,000 on immigration, and he married an American girl he doesn't love, and now he's stuck.
What do you have to do? Pull up her birth certificate, and it would say American on it?
I guess that's all we had to do, because my father had it automatically, and all we had to do was apply, and we didn't even know. Yeah. And my cousin did know, because my uncle told him, and he applied, and he never told us. It's like he figured, oh, well, once I'm in, what do I care about them?
What's wrong with people
But if your
these days?
father was half Indigenous and you don't check that out, you're crazy.
My dad was very proud
If your dad was
to not say that he was.
if your dad was half Indigenous and your mother was French, somewhere way back there was a rape involved. Battle.
Well,
Some kind of battle.
Okay, here's some history about my grandmother, who was the First Nation. She's blonde, blue-eyed. And my mother believes she's a descendant from the Vikings, when the Vikings were here.
Or George Armstrong Custer was her great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Hey, who's to say? I don't know.
Who knows what that guy was up to?
Who knows?
Yeah. Are you a happy person doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Are you getting enough fame out of this?
I wouldn't be.
Are you getting the right kind of fame out of this? 'Cause
Well,
there's a
I
difference
don't
between
know.
infamous and famous.
I don't know if I'm getting fame, but I'm getting recognized. And that's kind of freaking me out. Like yesterday when I arrived at the airport
In Toronto?
in Toronto, I hear, Ray Ray. Turn around, there's Corey Bowles. And he's like, hey, how you doing? Corey Bowles.
Who's Corey Bolt?
Oh my gosh, Mike.
Who is he?
So he acted on Trailer Park Boys when he was younger, when it was first out. And now he's like this director. He directs Digstown on CBC.
Yeah, but Trailer Park Boys was filmed in Halifax, because he probably knows you from when he was there.
No, we just met on Digstown this summer.
Yeah, that's a show you're doing.
I did background work for it, yeah.
Yeah, Digstown.
Yeah.
Is that...
He's the director.
Is the series based on the movie?
Digstown? It's, I don't know about the movie.
Digstown was a movie with James Woods.
Is it about law? It's about a lawyer.
No, it was about a corrupt town. So you're in Digstown. You're a background actor. Used to call those extras, by the way.
A couple things. I did a lot of background, and then I got a lead once.
Well, what's the gig? Do you want to stay in the military, or do you want to be an actress?
Well, there's not a lot going on right now in Halifax, acting-wise.
Which is why you should move to Toronto.
Everybody keeps telling me to move to Toronto.
You know what? There's all kinds of things you could do here that you'll never get down there.
Right.
I mean, things are booming here, film and TV-wise.
Yeah.
They're all American shows, but they're still booming. My friend's a background actor. He made $75,000 last year doing it. He didn't work that hard either.
Holy.
Yeah, he made 75 G's doing it. Plus, he got
great.
his actor membership. Now he's got full dental and everything else.
Oh, yeah, the benefits are great.
That would happen for you fast here.
Yeah?
I'm serious. You should consider packing up. Your girls are grown and gone.
Yeah. Oh, actually, one of them lives in Kingston, so not far.
Why did you ask for a transfer?
I actually,
I'm
actually looking into that. Like maybe getting a contract here in Toronto.
Is there anything in Toronto?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of Army Reserve units I could work at.
Yeah, so you could work at Fort York or something?
Yeah, one of them.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Because
then you could pursue your
because
other
it's
dreams.
something that's just kind of bubbling up to the surface. Like I wouldn't have done this
when you're 50 years old, you can't wait for things to bubble to the surface. You have to force them.
idea.
You have to force them. You have to do it. You can't wait till you're 60.
Mike, I know all about forcing. I joined the military at 42.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm not questioning your ambitions or your courage, but you got to do it quick because time goes by.
Yeah, I know. Got to find a place to live and a job, and
you'd have no trouble doing that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have connections when you transfer here and try to help you with that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. There's
what's your ultimate goal, by the way? How do you want to wind up? Do you want to get married again?
No.
Never.
I won't say never.
Was your first marriage that bad?
No, it was just really long. I was
How
with him
long
for
was it?
28 years. It's my high school
Deals where
sweetheart.
you met in high school. and
Yeah,
you
we were
fell in
15.
love? That's stupid.
Stupid.
I had a friend once who married the girl he'd been with since grade 9. And he gave me this bullshit story after they'd been married for 15 years, which was, you haven't had good sex till you've had sex with a person for the 1,000th time. And I said, spoken like somebody who's only been with one woman his entire life.
Well, let me tell you, I do not agree with that statement.
Yeah, anyone I know who got married really young does not agree with that statement.
No,
Because all of a sudden they get out and it's like a prison pass.
It's like new and exciting. Like when you're teenagers, it's new and exciting, and there's lots of hormones going on.
Yeah.
And he was a good person when I met him. Like he was.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
You people, I'll tell you.
But you know what? I wanted that at that time.
I know more people in their mid to late 30s, early 40s who are going through divorces right now. And there's absolutely no anger. There's no, there's no fireworks. There's no nothing. And that tells me why they're getting divorced. I know a couple that got divorced and continued to cohabitate in the house because they liked each other. And they each had their own room.
Wow.
And they both said, I married my best friend. Well, I have a best friend too, but there's no way I'd marry him. I don't get that at all. And you're going to see a lot more of that now.
Yeah.
Like at least with our generation, when we got divorced, there was hatred, which, helped you to fuel your way to a new life.
Right.
These people don't even have any of that.
Well, I don't talk to my ex.
There you go. See?
Yeah. We don't.
Yeah, but why don't you talk to him? Because he's still in love with you and he wants you back?
No.
Okay. I was trying to give you a good out there.
I don't know. I can't speak for him.
Well, he's still the father of your children.
Yeah, but
Don't you at least bond over that?
I just don't bother.
I think I hit a bad note with you.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more going on because he had PTSD.
Okay,
So there's a lot of
We
trauma.
can't go down this road.
Yeah.
We got to cut this out. We just can't go down this road.
You can't go down the X's.
I can't go
down that rabbit hole.
By the way, PTSD, was that from battle or you? That's what I want to know.
Mike,
Yeah.
fuck right off.
We'll leave all this in. That's pretty good. Yeah, we all have PTSD from marriages.
No, he was deployed.
There's different kinds of PTSD.
Yeah, he was deployed.
Yeah. I love hearing that, when somebody was deployed and they've got an issue. And then you hear things like, because Charlize Theron blackened her teeth for the movie Monster, that was so courageous. I just think the word courageous is so overused now that it makes me want to puke when I hear it. And then you hear about military people and they don't even use that word.
No.
They call it duty. They don't use that word.
Yeah.
And then you hear that crap coming out of people's mouths and you just can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like you hear that in stand-up a lot now. Oh, that was such a courageous performance. Well, no, it wasn't. I got paid, then I leave. Like, basically, that's all there was to it, and got paid way more than I should for 45 minutes of work.
Right.
So I hear that stuff now, and it just makes me...
Do you still do stand-up?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm doing New Year's Eve here at the...
Really? Who's your favorite comedian right now?
Dave Chappelle.
Me too. He's like, I want to be his best friend.
You're not offended by him?
Nope.
Oh, that's good to know because there's really.
I think he speaks the truth. And you have to have a sense of humor about it. Like, he's right. Did you hear his latest one, Sticks and Stones?
Sticks and Stones. Yeah.
And then
it's the one that's got everybody up in arms.
He did.
By the way, got everybody up in arms. 0.008% of the population is up in arms. 0.008.
But did you hear?
But that 0.008 is all on social media, and they're laser focused on you.
Right.
You know.
But did you hear the end part where it wasn't Sticks and Stones, but there's a couple of skits
yeah,
after
there's a couple
that?
of outtakes at the end.
Yeah,
and he talks about the transgender woman that he was with.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah, well,
she
believe
said
me when I tell you, none of the
normalized.
critics stuck around for that part, not
No,
based on what I read.
they obviously didn't hear it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that woman killed herself, too.
Why?
Recently. Depression.
Aw.
Yeah. But I noticed a couple of days later they kind of tried to pin that on him as well, but there's no way it would have worked because she was very supportive of his stand-up.
Yeah.
And they became really good friends, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and I tell you, the funny thing was I was, you know who Johnny Carson was, obviously.
Yep.
Got this Johnny Carson channel on Sirius, and it's old Carson shows from, and the prime period for him was like 74, 75, 76. And you listen to some of those shows with Dean Martin and Bob Hope and Don Rickles on the show the same night, and I'll tell you, if they were doing it today, they'd be pilloried.
Yep.
There'd be people outside that studio with torches wanting to hang the guy.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable how things have changed so much and how people are so easily offended. It's mocked offended is what it is.
It is. I remember being in the military on training, and a guy come up to me, and I was talking about how a girl, one of the other girls, didn't know her roommate was. She got up before the sun and she did her whole routine. She didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And my friend was like just shocked because she didn't know she'd be getting up at the crack of dawn.
Right.
And she puts on her garb and she does her, I don't know what it's called, but
She's doing her prayers.
yeah. And I was telling this, I was just relating the story to another person, and I said, like, she was just surprised because nobody said anything. And, you know, you should, if you're rooming with someone, it's just common courtesy that, you know, I'm going to be waking up before the crack of dawn to do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, this is the first time I heard it, I'm offended by what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm like,
right? It was
yeah,
a guy.
leave the room.
Let me ask you how old he was.
Yeah, he's probably, I think he was 25, 26.
Yeah. See, that's their...
at the time, so he'd be in his 30s
that's their
now.
way to get laid.
Oh,
These guys.
well.
They will support
I was
every
offended
single...
by him saying he was offended.
Oh, yeah. They'll support every single thing they hear that's going on out
Yeah.
there. And,
Ironically,
when somebody says jump, they're going to say how high. And I said this young friend of mine's daughter last week. I said, you young women are very strong and everything, but you're going to reap what you've sown where your men are concerned.
And Dave Chappelle says that too.
You're going to reap what you sow?
Well, he doesn't say that in so many words, but he says,
Well, I don't remember that, but I mean, you're going to reap what you sow where your men are concerned because there's real issues with these guys. Like you say jump, I'll say how high, and I'll jump higher than you even asked me to. Mm-hmm. It's just gone nuts. Mm-hmm. It's gone insane. Yeah. But I'll tell you, as far as Chappelle goes, Burr and all those guys and everybody else, nothing's ever going to trump comedy. And it'll win out every single time. And all you had to do was read the reviews on Sticks and Stones.
Yeah.
And read all kinds of reviews. Louis C.K. show, for instance, I went to that. And yes, he was conciliatory. Yes, he was verged on apologetic for his behavior. But when you read the reviews, that wasn't what he did at all. He was angry, and he was unrepentant, and all this jazz. And I didn't see any of that. And I was told it was the same show 3 nights in a row.
Wow.
But then you read a review, and then go to the comments section if you want to know how people really feel. And every one of these people who did these reviews on Sticks and Stones and these other shows got their asses handed to them by the people in the comments section.
Really?
Because people are getting fed up.
Yeah.
People are getting fed up. Okay, boomer. Yeah, that's so hilarious, you know.
Yeah.
Like mine is fuck off or I'll open a jar of peanut butter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or fuck off, unpaid intern for life. You know, we can come up with stuff that's way better than what they do. And they will take those 2 words, okay, boomer. The thing's a week and a half old, and it's already become, you know, so done.
Yeah.
They did it in 7 days.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's good to hear that from a woman's perspective.
Well, that's my opinion.
Well, the problem in this country is there hasn't been enough. Our wrongs don't equal our outrage.
Right.
That's the problem with Canada. Our
Yeah.
wrongs don't equal our outrage, and these people are going nuts over stuff that either didn't happen or happened so rarely and was fought against by the people they hate that they're just blinded by it all.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone nuts.
It is.
Things have gone crazy.
They have.
And I believe, I'll tell you, you should have I don't know how you feel about it, but you're in the military, so you have every right to speak up on it. You deserve every right I have, but you don't deserve more, and they're not going to be retroactive. Unless you're Indigenous or a Japanese person who lost their home during World War II.
What do you mean more? What do you mean by more?
You don't deserve more. You don't deserve more rights than I have.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I don't deserve to lose mine, so you can have more.
Exactly.
It's like...
it has to be fair.
Corny as hell, but I'll tell you, that golden rule, do unto others.
It has to be fair.
If everybody lived that way, it'd be fantastic. And by the way, I also believe, I don't know how you feel about this being in the military, but I also believe we need strong unions now more than ever because corporations are basically assholes without a body. Mm-hmm. And but I don't believe that the government unions are as necessary as they are in other places. Because the government's always going to give you more than you would have got in the private sector. Always.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I don't know about the military, but I know with teachers. Teachers are making $120,000 a year.
Only in Ontario.
Yeah, but my sister-in-law's a teacher in Los Angeles. She's a department head, and she makes $41,000.
Oh, in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Teachers don't make crap.
Yeah. I don't know what they make in
South of the
Nova
border.
Scotia. What do they make in Nova Scotia?
I'm not sure, but I don't think it's 120. I know that the teachers, because I have a family of teachers and my aunts and uncles, and they make good money.
I don't know how we got off on this.
I don't know either.
But it was...
we're talking about entitlements and...
Well, yeah, we started
movements.
off talking about something else, how people are easily offended. But
yeah.
By the way, in the military now, since the report came out, are things better for women now than they were before?
I feel like they are.
Yeah.
Because you have that. They give you a card, and if somebody or someone, or even the guy, I've seen actually men use it more than women, but again, there's more men in the military. But you just slip them the card. It's an Operation Honor card, and they'll get the message.
What's the card say? Have you got it with you?
I don't have it with me now.
But what is the card? What does it say?
It just talks about the rules of Operation Honor.
So you have a little laminated card you carry with you, like a deaf guy who's looking for money?
Yeah. Not a laminated card. It's just a little tiny pamphlet you can put in your pocket.
Like a little reminder?
Yeah.
Oh, here's this. And at the bottom there, it tells you what the next step's going to be if you don't toe the line. Actually, you know what? Just somebody handing you that thing would make you run for the hills. It's probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Really good idea.
Yes.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
You did a great job, actually. You're really good at this.
Thank you.
So we
didn't even talk about my TV show coming out.
What is it called? Digstown.
No, I'm doing a documentary for Impact Sports. And
You're doing a documentary for Impact Sports.
Yeah, well, documentary for Impact Sports.
You're winking at me when you say documentary.
Yes.
Usually when people do that, they mean porno.
Because, no.
When people do that and they talk about a movie.
Not going there.
They don't mean documentary.
No, it's just, it's more like reality based, but it's about women in wrestling.
As a guy who's, that's what I was going to ask you, because as a guy who spent most of his life stationary, I don't know what an Impact Sport is.
Oh, it's Toronto-based company. Impact Sports. Anyway, they recruited me actually to come on the show because one of the camera people knew my experience,
right.
And they said, "Oh, this girl would be good for the show."
So what are you doing?
So there's a group of women there, and I'm one of them, that are interested in female wrestling.
Right.
and how to be. So we've all come up with characters and
I was going to ask you about that because
costumes.
the WWE would hire you in a heartbeat.
I know. We just finished an episode where we talked about
Plus they can save 25.
there was
on
a
the
woman
implant.
that was there that was answering questions. She had been in the business for quite so many years, 14 years, I think she said, since she was 19. And she came up and talked to us, and that was one of the episodes that we filmed recently.
And where can we see this?
It's not out yet. It's still being filmed.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
but your part in it is done.
No, we filmed 2 weeks ago. And it's very slow going.
Have you thought of going the WWE route?
I've thought about it.
Because you remind me, you're about as fit as Trish Stratus, who I used to have on my show all the time, and she was amazing.
I remember that name.
Trish Stratus?
Yeah.
You got to remember her.
Yeah.
She's still in the WWE. I don't
Is
know what
she?
she does now, but she's not wrestling anymore.
Okay.
But she was great. She was in great shape.
Yeah, but
Do you know
I'm
how
50.
to wrestle?
Don't forget, I look young, but I'm not. I'm 50.
Well,
I
that's
have my
just an added feature.
yeah.
That's just an added feature.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you could come up with some kind of wrestler name for a woman who's 50.
Well, in the show, I'm Mistress Ray.
Yeah, that's good. The Mistress Ray's
Dominatrix,
good.
yeah.
Oh, wait, Dominatrix. You wouldn't go down that route, would you?
It's an act. You're acting. I wanted to be something that I was totally not.
You're not into Dominatrix, though. are you?
No.
And you're not into what's that thing Gamesh was into? BBM or whatever it's called?
I don't even know.
Bondage
No.
and all that jazz.
Like the 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah. that
No,
type
but
of
I'm
deal.
50 Shades of Ray.
How much money would it take for you to do 50 Shades of Grey? Like how much money would someone have to
movie?
pay you? So how much money would a billionaire have to pay you to put yourself in that position that she's in that movie? I'm saying it like I've
know.
seen it, like I've read the book and seen it. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I
I
don't-
thought it was some kind of paint ship from Deluxe.
Yeah, exactly. 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was when it first came out.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not gonna. The movie was okay. Like it's a love.
You saw
story.
it?
I saw. Yeah, both. I read the. Did I read the book? No, I didn't read the book.
Wow. Did you see the Sex and the City movie?
I wasn't a huge fan of Sex and the
Yeah, I was
City.
going out with somebody who tried to drag me to that. I think that's why I broke up with her. Doesn't take much. A little piece of turkey caught between your front tooth or trying to drag me to a chick flick. That's it. You're done.
Disinterested.
Yeah, if you don't floss when you're eating after you eat with me, that's it. You're
Yeah.
done.
Okay. I'll
Big
keep.
believer
I'll keep
in-
that in mind if we
I'm a
ever
big
have
believer
dinner.
in oral health.
Yeah.
Big believer in that.
Me too.
And cleanliness. I can't stand people who aren't clean.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's an
Do
awful.
you shower every day?
I do.
Do you bathe or shower?
It depends on my mood.
Okay, but do you bathe for relaxation purposes? Because if you're bathing to get clean, then you're filthy.
You sound like my ex-husband. Why would you sit in dirty water?
It's one of those deals.
Then
You know
you're
why?
not that dirty.
'Cause if
I'm
you were
never that
raised-
dirty for my water to be dirty.
If you were raised in the 60s,
I know. It would be dirty water.
4 sons,
Yeah.
4th guy
My mom
got
used
the
to tell
same
me
bath
stories.
water as the first guy, and as a result, you hate baths. I started showering when I was 6.
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't
I
want
like a good shower too.
Yeah, shower's the best. Shower's the best. What are you laughing at? There are often people who are not clean. There's a fine line between shiny hair and greasy hair. My impression is that your hair is shiny. I hope I'm correct.
My hair is shiny.
And
Is it
bouncy.
shiny?
Yeah, it looks clean. I'd have to smell it, but
Do you want to smell it, Mike?
no.
Okay.
No, but it's good to have that on video, that you made the offer. It's good to have that on video. No, I don't. But I just saying, I can't abide. What women always look at a man's hands, right?
I like a nice hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that hand. That's a beauty, huh? I could have
Pretty
been
nice.
a hand model.
You
Look at
could have been.
I know, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What about feet? How important are feet to a woman?
Well, to me,
Yeah.
they need to be clean, clipped.
My friends all call me a metrosexual for getting a pedicure once a month.
I don't see
A,
there's
it's
anything
great
wrong with
for
that.
your circulation.
Yeah.
B, as I've said to them all 10 million times, women like it when your feet are smooth and clean
Yep.
and
we
your
do.
nails are short.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Nothing worse than a long toenail. Ugh.
It's like when I was 18, 19, and my brothers used to call me gay because I was into cunnilingus. What, are you kidding me? Seriously, they do that. What, are you gay?
Really?
Yeah, what, are you gay?
Did they know what it meant?
We didn't use the actual scientific
okay.
term.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
But I used to love it when they'd say that. What are you, gay? Yeah, that's right. I like to go down on a woman. I'm unbelievably outrageously gay. You know.
You sound it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Things have changed, I guess.
It's crazy.
Do you see yourself in a long-term relationship?
Not at the moment.
Well, you're not at the moment, but I mean, do you see yourself?
I would like to at some point, yes, find someone that's...
Yeah, what's long-term to you? Like a 35-year-old guy with a terminal disease? What's long-term to you?
I don't know, someone that we complement each other. And I still like my independence, and I hope that they would like theirs. But
yeah, independence is a big thing.
Yeah.
Especially today. People in their 50s today,
and
they want to be
I
independent.
didn't have that. I didn't have a lot of independence.
I take it you got married right out of school.
I was 20.
And were you a housewife?
He was 19.
Were you a housewife?
Yeah. Well, no, I was an esthetician first. I went to aesthetic school, and I worked at Shoppers Drug Mart for quite a few years.
Really?
Yeah. Cosmetic department.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, when I got to, I worked at different places because I followed my husband's career, right? And we moved all over the place.
Were you a vegan then?
No, 2006, I became a vegetarian.
Oh, you're not a vegan.
I am not a vegan.
So a vegetarian means you'll eat eggs?
I will eat eggs, but I am lactose intolerant, so I don't eat a lot of dairy.
Everybody's born lactose intolerant.
Well,
what happens
it
is you
affects
get enough
me bad.
milk between the time you're 0 and 3 months old, you will get over lactose intolerance.
Well,
it's like the whole peanut allergy thing. No one had peanut allergies when I was a kid.
know.
I think people just went into a corner and died.
It's an
and
epidemic.
then you never saw them again.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't get the peanut allergy either.
Why did you go vegetarian? Because if you're doing the bodybuilding and all that jazz and fitness, it's very hard to get your protein from vegetables.
No, you're wrong.
Okay, I could be.
Yeah. Pea protein is a big thing right now.
I've never considered it for a day.
Pea protein is a big thing.
I had a salad once for lunch, and as soon as I could, I went and got some meat. I
never, even when I was a kid, never enjoyed eating meat. I think it doesn't taste good to me. I hated every part of it. Chewing a piece of meat is not enjoyable to me. It's like chewing on a piece of leather.
Learn how to cook.
No, fuck off, Mike. I'm a good cook. I'm an excellent baker.
If meat tastes like leather, you got a problem.
No, and that's not why. There's multiple reasons why.
Are any of them because you believe animals should be?
The animals are humans? No.
Yeah.
No, I just have I just have energy with beings, and I feel their energy. I feel their pain. I feel their.
Yeah, and I just don't. I don't get the whole vegetarian. I kind of understand. Vegan, I don't get it all.
It's just
vegan. I don't get it all.
Why?
Well, because there's this company called Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
That's making things that look like meat and taste like meat.
Yeah.
At burger joints.
Yeah.
That I frequent, and you're standing in front of me getting something plant-based. Fuck off and go to Mother's and have a salad bar.
Have you tried it?
I wouldn't try it.
Why not?
You're basically in my way when I'm trying to get meat, and you're asking for Beyond Meat. Go get your own thing. Go to Subway and have a veggie sub.
You're a tough nut, Mike.
I'm just saying, you don't want meat, but you want them to create something that tastes like meat.
You know what? I somewhat agree, because I do not like the taste of a burger. And when I tried the Beyond Meat burger, even though I enjoyed it, I felt like it tasted a lot like meat, and I don't like the taste of meat. So it wouldn't be my first pick.
A friend of mine tried it, told me it's awful. It's loaded with sage. It's got all these spices in it to make up for the fact that there is no meat. He said it's like a giant chickpea, a giant spicy chickpea.
No, I don't. And to be fair, I like to make my own veggie burgers.
Oh, how do you do it?
Cans of beans, or you can cook your own beans, and then.
Well, how do you make it all hold together?
You put in dry ingredients like dry powdered nuts, like powdered almonds.
All right, thanks for coming.
Let me make you a veggie burger, Mike.
All right. I'd rather have you make me a veggie breakfast. You talk about, I don't want you to put you in a position where you talk about the military and have to say negative stuff, but going all the way back to Desert Storm, we had a Minister of Defense, Art Eggleton, who used to be the mayor of Toronto, who didn't know a goddamn thing about the military. And I just remember our troops landing in the desert in green camouflage, against sand. And I look at that stuff and I say, currently we have a Minister of Defense with military experience, but it's only happenstance. I think that when it comes to our military, our Minister of Defense should be appointed just like the Secretary of Defense in the U.S. That person should have a military background and preferably have been an executive officer like a general.
Right.
Would you disagree or agree with that?
No, I think you have a valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way it should be, and it's so wrong that we don't do it that way.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of higher up, like military people, when they get to those ranks of general and stuff, they have so much knowledge.
Unbelievable.
They would, yeah. It would benefit the military quite a bit.
And your first duty is going to be to the veterans.
Yes.
Your first duty, and that's where your first duty should be.
Yes.
You don't have to, not worrying about the... Anyway, I sucked you into that so I could say, have you ever been with a woman?
No, actually.
Really? No desire?
No.
Interesting.
I've talked about it with friends, like girlfriends and stuff. And I talked about it with a friend recently that said she went ahead and did it and didn't really care for it.
Well, it's usually
she said there's a lot involved.
Funny thing with women, it's usually your best friend and you're in the kitchen while your husbands are in the living room and you drink a bottle of wine and suddenly you realize you've wanted each other forever. This never happens over a beer with two men when their wives are in
Hey, I've
room.
actually heard of that. Really? It has happened, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have underwear parties. You have lingerie parties. We don't.
I know, right?
There's things we don't
We also have dildo parties.
Do you really?
Yeah, Fantasia parties. I don't know if they still do, but I went
They're
to one.
called Fantasia?
Yeah, it's a company, Fantasia.
Oh, I see. So it's a fantasy to you that a penis could be 14 inches long?
No, that's not a fantasy. That sounds painful.
I think I'm the right guy for you. All right, that's it. Thanks for coming. It was good.
Thank you for having me. Who the hell likes big dicks? I mean...
You're listening to U2 with Mike Bullard on the Possibly Correct Network. The king of spontaneity, former host of Open Mic with Mike Bullard, legendary comedian Mike Bullard is back. Stay up to date with the latest from Mike and the podcast by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Minds.com and Gab, or navigate to www.u2mikebullard.com. While you're online, please show your support for the show by leaving a review on your favorite media player. You can check out all of our podcasts by following Possibly Correct on Minds.com.